Okay. Did everyone get a reading? Okay.
There's one extra.
Oh, there's one extra. Good. I bet you someone will need it in the not too distant future.
Sergeant, that's his name.
You can have the second chapter, which we didn't get to yet. Okay. Yeah. Is it 44? Is that right?
Let's start with that chant at this time at the end of chapter 2, because we only have like 3 or 4 more verses in chapter 1.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going, right? So that'll be on page 30, very last page. And maybe this time I should say it first, and then we'll all say it together. Okay, ready? Om Tat Sadati Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Sankhya Yoga Nama Dvitiyo Adhyaya. Okay, everyone. Om Tat Sadati Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Sankhya Yoga Nama Dvitiyo Adhyaya. And that says Om Tat Sadati. This is the second chapter named Sankhya Yoga in the conversation Samvade, reading backwards, in the conversation between Sri Krishna and Arjuna in the field, the texts of yoga concerned with knowledge of the absolute Brahma Vidyayam. And this is in those Upanishadsu, those secret doctrines known as Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat, I don't think we can translate. Tat, that exists. That exists, okay. All right, so we have a few more of chapter 1, and then we move on to where Krishna starts really giving the message, the deeper message of the Gita, instead of what he says right here at the beginning, which is, don't be a coward, stand up and fight. So we're 44:1, is that what you said?
That's what I think. Yeah.
Okay. And you prepared that?
I did make an attempt at that.
Okay, well, so this is Utsana?
Yes.
Okay.
Utsana Kula Dharmanam Manusyanam Jadarana Narake Niyatam Vaso Bhavati iti Anushushrama.
Anushruma. Right, good, very good. You broke the sandhi. Bhavati iti.
Okay.
And then
that was going to be
the E becomes ya before the.
Good. That was going to be my
Anushruma.
Sunday
Okay, very good.
flex for
You're going to translate for us?
Yeah. Janardana, like exciter of men or something. Oh Krishna, the agitator or exciter of men. We have heard again and again on Nushruma that like iti, those people, Manushyanam, whose family, whose kula dharmanam, who's like familial integrity or something, like family.
That was very good. That's a Bahuvri compound. In other words, Utsana Kula Dharmanam modifies Manushyana. Right, very good.
Good.
You can see they're the same, you can see how they, the same form, right? You see anam and anam, that's genitive plural.
So those whose family integrity has been destroyed, utsana,
Right.
They like stay or dwell vaso bhavati. Probably those go together. Is that?
Bhavati just is
Okay.
a throwaway.
All right. Okay. Maybe forever or for countless amount of time or something. Niyatam in hell. Not a negative.
Yeah, I know, it's not my favorite verse.
Did you say in hell?
Yeah, Nautica with an
Nautica.
E ending locative, so that's the place where
Very good.
they're hanging.
Where they are hanging?
Yeah.
Yes, locative is like where, so in this case, in hell.
Remember, this is, again, Arjuna.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, yeah, right.
I don't think Krishna ever says, dwell in hell.
Uh-huh.
Is there a
You
hell
don't find that
in
in the, you don't find
Is
that
there a
much
hell?
in
Is there a
the,
hell in the Hindu faith?
Sure.
What do they call it?
the Buddhists have lots of hells, right? Don't
Buddhists
they?
have eight hot hells, 8 cold hells.
30.
I can show it on the poster in there on the Wheel of Life. You can see the 8 and the 8 side by side, and then you can have like a good hell birth or a bad hell birth. Like a good hell birth, you could be like the king of hell. It's considered like,
Okay, that's all right.
yeah,
Thank you.
nothing to strive for.
Okay, and now that Anu, actually, I'd like to give you the a list of verbal prefixes. They're not words,
Right.
Yes.
but they the verbal prefixes, they augment the meaning of the verb and in very predictable ways. I mean, they almost take over the verb, right? And there are 20 of them. The one you already know is su, which means good, right? Or duh is bad. So like su-yogi, like Ben, he's a good yogi, and duh yogi, that'd be like me, a bad yogi. and I don't know, up, down, extensive, and so on, not. I have a list of the 20 verbal prefixes, and I'll give it to you.
If I can
And
scan
now
it.
that anu, so you read anu as again and again.
Yeah.
We've heard again and again.
For past?
Well, that could be it.
I took that. I didn't take it. I mean, I didn't. I thought that. Yeah, like Kender said that it was in the past, but he repeated it was shushuma, which seemed like a duplicate.
That's perfect. That's just the tense of
Okay.
the verb. That's
Okay.
just turd. But the anu changes it slightly.
Uh-huh.
And for example, watching your own perception in English is sometimes called apperception, or in the Ashtanga yoga, it's with the fifth limb, right? We were talking about it earlier. It's just slipping my mind.
Pratyahara.
Pratyahara, right? Pratyahara. Well, anu is used for this sort of backing up, sort of, or an overview, or apperception. So it's not just again and again. Perhaps it could be again and again, but it's like this is the deep message that what we've heard. Of course, I think that for Arjuna that's quite wrong, but it's kind of gives It's not just that somebody says. It's not like they say. It's like they have profoundly said or something like that.
I think the most famous example in yoga is probably Anushasanam, like Hatha Yoga Anushasanam.
Yeah, that's right. Anushasanam, right? Shasanam is just teaching, but Anushasanam is like, wow, it's this really overview teaching.
It's sometimes glossed as demonstrating that Patanjali's not creating anything new, but that he's teaching from what came
Well,
before.
that's true. Anu can have that meaning of before and so on. And again, but I just wanted to mention that one of the other meanings is this view of sort of transcending.
That's cool.
Aho bata. Anybody else going to try one? Yeah, let's go.
I'll read. Can I read one?
Maybe we should go again on the. I'll read off the rest of.
I'll read one.
Okay, read one. Good.
Let's see. I just turned my page around. So, aho.
Yeah.
Aho.
And I'm just gonna try the Devanagari again, so I don't cheat. Aho bata mahat pam
Papam.
Kurtu.
Khartoum.
Of course, Khartoum, Vyavasita,
Very good. Vayam.
Yadra
Raja.
Jasu, Sukalo
Bena. Lobena.
Bena, Hantum, Svajana,
No, Oud. Breaking the Sunday Swajanam. Oud.
So, Svajana sorry.
Udyata.
Svajanam. Oh, okay.
Udyata. Oud is one of those verbal prefixes. Oud. Up. Actually,
Oh,
up.
I see.
Udyata.
Svajana Sorry, Svajanam.
And then
Udyata.
Udyata. Very good. Okay, very good. So aho, that's just an interjection. That's just, hey, butta, hey, friend. And it's very familiar that Arjuna is talking to Krishna like this, right? Hey, friend, here we are, Vayam, that's just the normal word for we. Vayam vyavastita, resolved to do something very wrong. Mahat, to do, Khartoum, the infinitive, and the object of the infinitive is Mahat Papam, this great wrong. Yad Raja Sukalo Bena, out of greed for pleasure and rulership. Hantum Swajanam Udyata. Yeah, here we are, Udyata, ready to kill our own people out of greed for whatever kingdom, Yad Raja, and pleasure. What a terrible thing.
It's only been going on
Okay.
Now, what's that Lopina? What's that Lopina? I know Sukha. Sukha's the pleasure. What's the Lobina? Lobena.
Oh, Lobena.
What's
Loba.
that?
Loba is
Greed?
greed or lust.
Okay.
Loba, more
Desire for bad
greed.
things.
I think.
Greed. Okay.
Greed.
in the Yoga Sutras, like Loba, Moha, Krodha.
All these other bad
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
Loba,
greed,
Krodha, anger.
ignorance, anger,
And
darkness, dullness. ignorance. Yeah,
And
then
yeah, the one I have, shakiness of limbs.
Yeah.
and then Lobena, you can see if you grab that sergeant thing that Ana means instrumental, means
Very good,
You're
singular
doing it
instrumental.
by the power of greed.
That's
the
right.
instrument, the
That's
agent
right.
that's causing you
That's
to
right.
do this
Lobena.
thing is the greed.
That's
You're
right.
motivated.
Yeah.
You're
That's
motivated.
right, by, or even because of. Right. Okay. And then the last one, Yadimam, Apratikaram, Ashastram, Shastrapana Dartrashtra Rane Hantus, Tanme Kshematram Bhave. So Yadi, if, Mom, me, and that's accusative singular. Apratikaram, notice the ma that ends mom and apratikaram, that's the same, that means it's the same case, both accusative singular. Ashastram, shastra means weapon, and ashastram, so these are adjectives modifying mom. So apratikaram, not opposing, me not, not fighting back. Ashastram, without weapons. Shastrapanayaha, that's nominative plural. So that's a bahuvrihi. That says those in whose hands are shastra, are weapons. Those, plural, right? And that goes with dartarashtra. That's also nominative plural. Hun use. So if they should kill me in battle, Rene, Tun me, to me, that would be better. God, it would be better if they killed me. That's how he finishes. Be better if if I'm gonna throw my arms down, they got arms, they kill me, I'm not gonna oppose them, that it would be better and that's it. And so then the last verse, Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Muktva Arjuna Sankhe Ratha Upasta Upavisha. Now, Ratha Upasta, that's locative singular. The A is dropped because of the following U as a Sandhi rule. Evam, in this way, Utva, participle, speaking, Arjuna, Upasta, in the seat of the chariot, in the battle, Upavisha. That can be just sat down, but I think it's negative here, right? Because you don't sit down. You don't sit down right. He's in the middle of the battlefield. You don't sit down in the middle of your chariot. When everybody's sounding their conches and you're getting ready, right? Visricha. That's another participle. It says, and what is he doing? He's throwing away. What is he throwing away? Remember, word order doesn't matter. So that's the Bahuvri prefix. Shoda means arrows, Chapam means bow. So he's throwing down his bow, along with the arrows. Shudam. Shudam is arrow, Chapam is bow. Sachanam. What kind of bow is this? This is a bow that has arrows with it. He's throwing them all down. Shoka. Right? Ashoka is the one that doesn't have any grief. Shoka's grief, right? Shoka samvigda manasa, another Bahuvri. Let me just explain Bahuvri again. Bahu means much, Vrihi means rice. So what are you talking about, much rice? You're not talking about much rice. You're talking about someone who has much rice. So I call, the Buddha is sometimes called long ears, because he is a person who has long ears. So, Shoka Samvigna Manasa, that would be a person whose mind, Manasa, is stricken, Samvigna, with grief, with Shoka, misery. So, or that's Arjuna. And that's the end of chapter 1. Om Tat Sadati Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahmavidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vishada Yoga Nama Pratama Adhyaya. This is, or what is I on? Something like dejection. This is the yoga of dejection or something like that. Vishada. Interpreters have lots of different takes on this one, right? Why? Okay, so now we move on. Somebody should take the first verse of Ata Dvitiyo Adhya. Now we're to the second. And Sanjaya, remember Sanjaya is the seer who has the siddhi of being able to hear at a distance. He's talking to the blind king, and before you all came in, you Suyogi now, I mentioned that it's a mistake what I said last time about Dhritarashtra being evil and that sort of the good, that was simplistic, the good guys, the bad guys. Dhritarashtra's blind. He's not really a bad guy. Now Duryodhana, his son, is the one who cheats. It's not Dhritarashtra. It seems to symbolize, I mean, it's not a very far-reaching stretch to think that that's a metaphor for ignorance of the true consciousness within, since that is one of the central messages of the Gita, and that's what Shankara says. One of the early interpreters in the 8th century, that Dhritarashtra, it symbolizes ignorance of spirituality. So anyone want to try? Just reading the daily.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah,
Since
okay.
Sanjaya Jaya
Uvacha, Sanjaya said,
Tam Tata Krapya Ishtamma Shru Purna Kulek
Akule, Purna Akule,
Purna.
but it's really Akula Ikshanam, and E make A, so breaking the sandhi is Akula Ikshanam, with sandhi Akulakshanam. Okay.
Visidantamidam Vakyamubhaka
Madhusudana. So tam, him, the accusative singular, tata, in this way. Kripaya vishtam. So see that tam, that's that mark, and ma sound is the mark of the accusative singular. And so avishtam, overwhelmed by compassion, fellow feeling or something like that. Ashru. And see, avishtam, right? That's where you break the sandhi. The next word is ashru. With the poetry, it's mashru, right? Kripaya vishtam ashru. But breaking the sandhi, it's avishtam ashru. And then notice ikshanam, which are your eyes. That's also modifying tam, him. Who, and again, it's a Bahuvriya compound. Whose eyes are overflowing or filled and full. Those words mean about the same. Purna is full. Akalu, maybe filled, totally filled. You know, there's a famous Upanishadic mantra. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, where Purnam is taken as the infinite, the absolute full. Purnamadaha, that's the full. Purnamadam, this is the full. From the full proceeds. Taking the full from the full, still it's the full that remains. Om Shanti Shanti. So Purna, and Purnamadam, okay. And so that's that word Purna. Okay, but then so Madhusudana, that's Krishna, Uvacha, right, that's the word we're going to see over and over again, said, Avakyam, his speech, he made this speech to him so filled, Avishtam, with compassion, whose eyes, Bahuvrihi, totally filled with tears. Vishadam, sunken down, idam, he says this to him. So now we get Krishna's first words. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, so the Blessed One said, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastitam anaryajushtam aswargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. Yeah, well, Krishna starts out, this is not his final message, right? He starts out, and actually we only get 2 lines here, and then Arjuna, notice that Krishna says, there are just 2 verses that Krishna says, 2 and 3, and then 4 through 8 are Arjuna. And 4 through 8 are actually in a different meter. It's called Trishtu. The first meter was shloka, 16 syllables to a line, very regular, longs and shorts. We can go over that sometime if you want. And 8 syllables to a half line, and a pretty clear pause after the 8th syllable. There's some variation, but not much. The next lines, 4, then when Arjuna, 4 through 8, that's called Trishtu. It has 11 syllables per half line, so there. Or you can say instead of 2 lines, it has 4 lines. Each line has 11 syllables, and the pattern of long and shorts are different. Now, there's been a lot of discussion in the scholarly literature as why the Gita occasionally shifts into this different meter. And it seems as though the different meter sums up what's gone before. And in any case, these 4 verses that Arjuna says in this different meter show Krishna that he's really serious, right? It's really good. But let's get the first 2 lines from Krishna first. Kutastva, it's okay. So Arjuna, let's read backwards. Arjuna, hey Arjuna. And let's go to the first word. Kutas, why? Why has Kashmalam? Oh, that's really Kashmalam. Yeah, that's really negative. This Kashmalam, this weakness, sort of faintness, sort of.
Is that what Kashmalam means?
Kashmalam, yes, Kashmalam is pretty negative. It's kind of like, it's really giving him trouble, right? I mean, he's not taking him seriously. Kashmalam, this faint-heartedness, you could even say cowardice, or in a minute, he's this next word in the next line, kleibium. That's another very seriously negative term in this context. It means. What does it mean? It means lack of courage. That's the opposite of a warrior. being a weak-kneed sissy. But the terms are kind of, I don't know, a little sexist maybe. In English as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have used that. It's, nothing else occurred to me. Just weakness, right? This weakness. I mean, we use words like that, right? And you know, I mean, at least guys talking, you know, to call, you know, a guy a girl or something like that, right? If you're getting ready to fight or something like that, right? That's what is going on here. Okay. Vishame. Also, Vishame. That's actually very interesting because later on, Shama. Think of Sama. Sama means the same in Sanskrit as same in English, so they're cognate. The V before Sama makes the sa change the sh. So this means Sama. It means balance. Samatva. There's a line where Krishna later on, I think it's in chapter 4, he says Samatvam yoga uchate. Balance, equanimity is yoga. And so here he says, you have no balance. Vishame. You're in imbalance. Samupastitam, that's over, you know, come upon you. Anarya jushtam, you know, it's not prized by normal people, by honorable people. Ajushtam, Arya. Arya didn't have the negative connotation it has now because of the way the Nazis misused it. Arya meant something like noble-spirited and big-hearted. And so people who are like that, they don't enjoy this. Nobody enjoys seeing you like this. It doesn't lead to heaven. Swargyam. And it's going to destroy your reputation. Kirti, right? Dharma kirti, right? And this is kirti karam, making a kirti, bad reputation, right? Infamy,
Yeah.
Infamy, right? Arjuna, klaibyam masmagahama. This is a very colloquial way of having the injunctive. There's a injunctive or prohibitive tense in Sanskrit, but it's a little hard to remember exactly what the endings are. And so when you can say smup, and this visarga on the root is a very easy way, a colloquial way of saying don't do that, don't go to. Gum is one of the most common roots in Sanskrit. Gum gachati, to go. Don't go to klaibyam, cowardice. Unwarrior-like. Partha, na'etat, twai, upapadite. Upapadite, we see that all the time in philosophical texts. It means it's not possible. Here it's more like, I think it's not fitting. Or maybe it's not possible. It's not your true nature. Upapadite, it doesn't fit you, Partha. Na'etat twayi, te. Remember we learned last time, twam is nominative singular of informal you. Te is dative, right? Namaste, right? Twayi is locative, so in you. Mai is in me, twayi is in you. So it goes, the declension of twam, twaina, and so on till we get all the way down to twayi, the locative, in you. So it's not, you could say it's not really possible for you. You're not like that. That's not your true nature. Kshudram, it's small. Kriya daulabhyam. Well, bala, right? It's not, strength. It's not balas, right? That's the child's pose, right? Bala is strength. And so dur, right? Dur, then Remember, we learned there's strengthening of vowels. U becomes ow. It's an abstraction. So it's so Daurbolium is bad strength or weakness, and hernia, heart. You're hit. This is faint-heartedness, right? Weakness of heart. You've lost your heart. Tyektwa. No. Oh, sorry. This is a participle. Tyektwa. Abandoning. Tyektwa. Tyaj. Tyagaraja. That's a very common word. Abandoning this small weakness of heart. Get rid of that. Uttishta. Stand up. Now that's a straight imperative. Stand up. Arjuna. Parantapa. Okay, and then Arjuna. Then we get this, different meter, right? Katam Bhishmaham Sankhe Dronam Cha. No, actually, that's shloka, but it's the one after that starts the Trishtu. Anyone like Robin? You like to try Katam Bhishmam?
Katam Bhishmamanham.
Bhishmam Aham. Okay.
Sankhya.
Sankhye.
Dronam.
Cha.
Madhusudana.
That's the name for Krishna.
Yes. Ishu.
B. And that B.
B.
Ishu B.
Pratyo.
Yotsami. Puja. This is a hard Sandhi. That av is really ow, and it's uddy. There's a ow followed by turns into av. So it's pujar how uddy sudana. So, and in Sanskrit, you decline not only singular and plural like we do in English, but anything that has two, dual. And this is a dual, and the reason it's a dual is because we have Bhishma and Drona. So he's referring to those two. These two who are worthy, arha, of puja, worship. Puja, probably everybody knows that word puja. Puja is worship. These two are worthy of worship. So katam bhishmam aham sankhe. How should I, and then the verb doesn't come until the second line. Yotsyami, fight with arrows against Prati, Bhishmam, and Drona. Drona, remember, Drona is his archery teacher. I think he loves him more than anybody. And these two, how can I do it? In battle, no way. So he's insisting, even after Krishna's called him a coward and all that negative language, he continues. He insists. Okay, anybody else want to try one? Okay, yes?
Are we at the Guru one?
Gurun.
Guru Nahatva
That's right, that's a That's right, there's an hidden in there.
Ki Mahanubhavan
Anubhavan, right?
Anubhavan Shreyo Bhoktum Bhakshyama
Biksham,
Bhaksham Kiha
Upi, there are three words there. Biksham, Upi, Iha,
Bhaksham Api Iha Loki
Loke.
Loke.
Keeps going. That's
Oh, it keeps going.
this has 4 lines to
Right.
it.
Hatvarta
Hut. It's the Sandhi there is hatwa, long a, and then artha. So remember, any combination of and ends up being a. So this is hatwa. That's a participle, killing. Artha. So hatvarta. kamanstu.
Bhagavata kamanstu guru nihaiva.
Gurun iha eva. So again, and a in Sunday becomes I. So that's gurun, that's accusative plural, iha eva.
Eva.
Okay, so then he's explaining, right? This is what, now we get this different meter. It goes, Guruna hatva himaha nubavan shreyo bhoktum vakshamapi haloke hatvartha kamans to gurun nihaiva bunjya bogandrudi. Oh, we didn't get to the end, did we? Oh no, I was reading the next one, wasn't I? Yudhira pradigdan. So, 4, killing these gurus. That's plural of guru, gurun, plural. Kill. So, I'm sorry, there's a hidden A there. Not killing these gurus. Not killing these gurus. Gurun ahatva. There's a hidden there. And then this is another Bhagavad compound. Whose anubhava? Anubhava, you probably remember.
Non-existence.
It's your overall anubhava is your overall experience of life. It's the way you take in everything, right? Your ability for I don't know, wide, rich experience, and they have that. Mahanubhava, they're glorious, right? These gurus who, of wide experience, these glorious people, right? Not killing them, Shreyo is better. Not killing them. Shreyo bhoktum bhiksham api ihaloke. Yeah, it's better, bhiksha, right? Bhikshu?
Bhikshu a monk.
Yeah, bhikshu, begging. It's better to have to beg for food, bhoktum, to eat in this world, along with not killing these, right? And then hatva, but hatva, killing these artha kaman who desire the good, right? Artha, guru, iha eva, here, now. We would enjoy or taste bunjya, bogan, enjoyments, rudra, blood, pradigdan, smeared with. So we would taste boga, we would have boga. The tantrics always use that word, yoga boga. And the non-tantrics say yoga boga, that's like bogus yoga. Boga is enjoyment, right? Bunja, we'll have, maybe boga is like also wide experience, enjoyment in a very wide sense. We would have these enjoyments smeared with blood.
We would enjoy the taste of blood?
Excuse me?
Like they'd be tainted.
Tainted.
Oh,
Yeah, tainted. So he's not giving up. Yeah. Nacha etad vidma kataran no rio yadva yajema yadivano jayehu yaneva hatwa naji ji vishamas te avastita pramuke dhartarashtra. Okay. Na cha etad. Na cha etad vidmaha. Vidmaha. We do not know. Kataran. Ka is just the normal interrogative word. ka anything. Tada is comparative. So it's like, what would be better? And Gariyo is, that is from Guru. That Gariyo, I think that's also, that's comparative. What would be superior? Superior. For us, no, right? Remember, na is this sort of indeclinable word that can stand for three of the cases of the first person. Yad va, whether, yajema, whether we should win, yadiva, or if we should be conquered. Yadeva hatwa, killing yan, whom, na, killing whom, na, we would not want to live. Remember, the desiderative is at its sha to the root, and then it duplicates the root. Jiv, you probably heard of jiva, the living. This is the root jiv, to live. Jiv, vishama. It duplicates the G, so that's when we get G, Vishamas, Te Avastita Pramukhe. These Dhartarash, these children, these men of the blind king Dhritarashtra, who have assembled right in front of us. We wouldn't want to live killing these people. And then let me just read two more to finish, Arjun, and then let somebody else take over. Karpanya dosha upahata swabhava prachami tvam dharma samudha cheta yad shrehasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme shishate ham shadimam tvam prapanam. Whoa, that's the greatest. Because in Vaishnava Hinduism, there's this word prapana, the very last word of this verse, which means I have come to you as a disciple, right? And he's talking about himself. He says, I, swabhava, my very being, upahata, is stricken by the flaw, dosha, right? Reading backwards the first line. Swabhava, my swabhava, this is what Nagarjuna attacks, right? The swabhava, but this is a different sense. This sort of my very nature. My very nature is stricken, upahata, by the dosha, the flaw of karpanya, of, over compassion. That's hard to, that doesn't sound quite right. Karpanya, like, I care too much. I don't, maybe it's a dosha, prachami. And so, in any case, prachami, I ask you, tvam, dharma samudha cheta, and that's a bahuvri referring to himself, whose chetas, whose intelligence is clouded, samudha is confused according to what is dharma, what is right. I'm confused about dharma. Samudha. I want to know, yat shreyas, what is the best? Syan. That's shat. What would be best? Nishchitam, with certainty. Nishchitam. Bruhitan, tell me. That's an imperative. Bruhi, tell me. Shishyate, aham, I. Shadi, I am your shishya. I am your student. I am to be taught by you. Shadimam, again, imperative. Shadimam, teach me. Tvam, who have come to you. The Vaishnavas make maybe too much of this prapanam. They say, it's a kind of surrender to the teacher, I'm totally open, I'm confused, I don't know what to do, it seems I can't kill these people. Tell me. And then Krishna doesn't say what he said earlier, that you're being a coward, so on. He changes his tune in the next verse. He changes his tune. And Sanjaya tells us. Anybody want to read? Try that one? You want to try?
You can do it.
The last one's hard.
Don't tell her that.
Oh. I lied.
Nahi prakashyami.
So Sanjaya Uvacha. So Sanjaya says.
Oh.
Oh, no, we have one more verse before
Yeah,
this.
no, no.
Arjun.
Oh yeah, we got,
Yeah.
he hasn't finished, oh, he's got one more verse, I'm sorry. He's so number 8, Nahi, right?
Yeah.
Nahi,
Prakashyami.
Prapashyami, Mama, and then Apanudyat.
Apanudyat. Yachokam.
Good, Yachokam, Ut, Shoshanam,
Utshoshanam. Indriyanam.
Indriyanam, Indriya, your sense organs,
Avapya.
Avapya.
Avapya. Bhuma.
This again, that's a hard Sunday. That's Bhumau, Sapatnam Ridam. That's breaking the Sunday. Bhumava Sapatnam Ridam. When you break the Sunday, sometimes it's hard to put it back together because the words stick. The words are Bhumau on this battlefield. Asapatnam. Your patna is your spouse, right? So there's no comparison. No, there's ridum. And so even attaining wealth, unparalleled wealth, on earth, and then rajam. Finish the last line.
Rajyam. Suranamapi.
Suranam.
Api.
Api cha adipatyam. Now, when we say there's a different, what do you want to say, phoneme. But the meter in Sanskrit is actually what's sometimes called quantitative. It's very hard in English, we have a sing-song, right? And meters are sing-songs, stress or no stress, right? And there's an accent mark. Sanskrit is actually, I can't do it this very well, but Sanskrit is much flatter. And the long vowels, like this ah here in Suranam, it's actually held longer, right? Ah is just in the length of the vowel, how long you hold it as opposed to up or any kind of short vowel. So the way that is read is Rajam and then Suranam Charipatyam. We can get into the meters.
It's the vowel with that.
Yeah, the vowel.
accent, or the line.
Yeah, vowel without an accent, right.
And then O, E, A-U.
All of those are long.
They're
They're all long. That's right.
That's a 2+ is kind of the way I was told.
Yeah. So is short, A is long, E is short, E is long, U short, U long, Re is short. But then A, I, O, and Ow are all long. And then if you have 2 or more consonants following a short vowel, then that makes the syllable long. And that's how you scan. It's a pretty simple system, right? That's it. And
So I is not a strong, or is not a long form of A, it's a strengthened form of A?
Yeah, it's not long. That's right. It's a strengthened form of, it's a kind of abstraction. When you do that, it's like watery or something like that. Okay. So, so this is his actually final. 4, prapashami. That, again, that upasarga, the upasarga, that's a verbal prefix. Pra, that's another one. Pra is forward to, pashami is the verb, but prapashami, it gives it a little bit of that, deeper sense. Mama, that's the genitive of me. Apudnyat. See, we don't have what would take away. Uppa, it means away. That's another one of those verbal prefix. Yut, what would take away this shokam, this grief, and this utshoshanam, this withering of my senses, indriya. The indriyas are your senses. We're going to learn they're the jnanendriya, the knowledge, the 5 senses. The indriyas are sight, hearing, touch, right, feeling, smelling, and but then there are also 5 other indriyas, the indriyas of action, the karma indriyas. So I think it means both, that they are just they've collapsed. Avapya. So that's the root is op, and again a verbal prefix ava. That's a little hard because you might think it's not, but it's ava and then op. So avapya, obtaining wealth, ridam. Take the ma away, right? Ridam is the word. Obtaining wealth, unparalleled wealth, right? Ava sapatnam. Bhumau, here in this field and earth, or kingdom. And the sutras are the gods. So even rulership, adipatyam is rulership, even api. Adipatyam and rajam mean the same thing. Rulership of the gods. Even if I were to obtain rulership of the gods, it wouldn't be. I don't see what could take away my grief. Even if you make me king of the gods, I'm going to still grieve. If in this situation of those people over there on the other side. Whew. So this is when Krishna changes this too, as we see in verse 11. The teaching of the Gita really starts with verse 11, but we have two verses from Sanjaya before we get there, right? And it goes back. Notice we had that Trishtub kind of summary. Yeah, it's more than a summary, wasn't it? It's like, you're not convincing me, Krishna, right? I mean, Krishna called him a coward, called him all these names, despicable, this weakness. And no, I'm sorry, that doesn't do it. Mm-hmm. Give me the deeper teaching, Krishna. I have come to you, prapanam. I've come to you. I don't see what can take away this grief. Evam uktva Hrishikesham Gurukesha Param Tapa. Notice how much easier it is to read the shlokas than the Trishtubs. Trishtubs are a lot harder grammatically too. The Yotsya iti Govindam uktva Tushnim Bavuvaha. Evam, in this way, having spoken to Krishna, Hrishikesha, Gudakesha, Kesha is your hair, different hairstyles. Arjuna, Gudakesha, having spoken like this to Krishna, warrior, put him to blood, scorcher of the foe, No yotsya. What did he say? No yotsya. I'm not going to fight. Iti Govindam Uktva. He says this to Govinda, Krishna. And then he became silent. Tushni. There's a yoga vow called Tushni, right? Mauna, Tushni. He became silent.
Like Shakyamuni, the silent sage.
The silent stage. He says, I'm not going to fight. And then he comes silent. And then Tamuvacha Hrishikesha. Prasahan Iva Bharata. Do you know Hasasana? Nobody practices Hasasana. I learned Hasasana. Has means to laugh. And there's in the literary criticism of Kalidas, the great playwrights, they identify different kinds of aesthetic experience, and hasa is like comedy. And hasasana, you just loosen my legs up. Hasasana is you go. Hasasana is laughter pose, right? And so you take a big breath in, you squat down. I mean, if everybody does it, it usually works. That's hasa. So here, look what Krishna is saying. Krishna, it's not just what he's saying. He's smiling. And Iva, I mean, he's pleased with this. Right? Remember earlier, he was really negative. But here, he's smiling. And Senayor Ubayor Madhye Vishantam Idam Va. So, and then the narrator, Sanjaya, he tells us, Senayor, in the midst of the two armies. He reminds us of the context. He's smiling in the midst of the two. And he says this word, Vishidantam idam vachaha. He says this to him who is despondent. Vishidam. We had that several times. He's sunken down, depressed. Vishidam. And then with number 11,
Arjuna smiling, or is it?
yeah, Krishna's smiling.
Oh, Krishna's smiling.
It's Krishna smiling.
Beautiful.
This Krishna, that's Hrishikesha, that's nominative singular. That's a participle from hasa, like hasasana. And Iva, it kind of makes it, Iva means as it were, it sort of makes it subtle, maybe, kind of a subtle being pleased, a sort of subtly pleased, can't help but smile a little bit, sort of, something like that, right?
He's smiling because he says, I'm not going to fight. I'm done.
Yeah, he said, look,
you're in the middle of these
right,
armies.
in the middle of the
We're
battle.
here.
Right, that's right. And notice, this is right after, he's given him all that negative stuff, and still Arjuna says, I'm not going to fight. He said, I am not going to fight.
But he's also, Arjuna's just like humbled himself.
Yeah, he's
before
humbled
his
himself.
teacher,
That's true.
So he's like, I'm not gonna fight. I can't do it. And then Krishna says, what are you, come on, what are you doing? And Arjuna says, no, I know better than that. You're gonna have to explain it to me. Look, I admit it. I'm small. I'm weak. Whatever you need to say, I'm at your feet. Please tell me. And then Krishna's like, well.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Let's do this.
Very good. That seems right. Okay, so anybody want to try another one? Anybody?
Which one are we on here?
It's beautiful. Like it's also just like any of us, right? Yoga teachers especially, or whatever. But anyone in our lives, I just always think like, never give advice if you can avoid it unless someone asks.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think
And
to give moral advice is like, if it's not someone as dear to you as your own mother, keep your mouth shut.
And even, especially if you want to be able to help them, because if you speak too soon, they can't hear it.
That's right.
And so even like Krishna's desperate to tell him
Right.
what to do. But if he tells him, he won't do it.
Right.
Because no one wants to be told
'Cause-
what to do. But he's finally asked, and now Krishna's
Right.
like, I can finally help.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm
That's-
ready.
Yeah, oh thank God, you finally asked.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So listen, you're gonna get an earful
the chance
now.
to finally speak.
Right.
That's beautiful.
I'm willing to read.
Okay, try go.
Sri Bhagavanuvacha.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. That's Bhagavan is the blessed one, right?
Bhagavan, yes.
Uvacha. He said, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Ashosyanava.
Yeah, again, there's that hidden Ashochan,
Asocyan. Vas.
Anvashochas,
Shastvam. Prajnava.
Damscha. Vashyate.
Vashyase. Gata suna gata.
Yeah, there's that hidden again. Gata soon, agata soon.
Gata sun. Sha.
Cha.
Cha. Nanu.
Na anushochanti.
Another one. Okay.
Na anushochanti. Breaking the sandhi.
Pandita.
Pandita. This is a good. Now, notice there's real poetry here, right? Notice the repetition. Ashochan, not to be grieved for. Achochas, you have grieved for that which is not to be grieved about.
Is that
Ashochan, that's a.
is that weird that
The
anusvaras followed by a sh, like that's hard.
Yeah,
to say, isn't
the not the anus.
Vadancha.
Yeah, Vedanscha. Yeah. Cha. Yeah. Vedanscha. Yeah, that's just a Sunday rule.
Okay.
Prajna Vedanscha. It's because of the like you said, the anuswara in Dam, which is plural, accusative plural, and then before cha, you add that sh. It makes it smoother, right?
So it would just be without the sandhi. It would just be the anusvara.
It would just be Prajna Vadam.
Okay. All right. So with an anusvara followed by a cha,
Cha.
you're always going to
And
add
the
the
sha.
sha. Oh wow.
I take it back.
It's
That's
weird.
all right. There is a visarga there. I'm sorry. Pradams, Joe.
There's a
I think
visarga.
Pradams. Yeah, it's
There's a visarga
it's
after an anusvara.
yeah. There's a visarga. It's a visarga.
It's
The
anusvara.
sha is a visarga. It's changed to sha.
But there's an anusvara immediately
Yeah,
followed by a
yeah.
visarga.
Yeah, but the
Anusvara is
anusvara
the
can
Vedanta
be
and
just
the
means
visarga
any
is the
nasal.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
Here, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's weird.
But notice that there is a lot of repetition, like gatas in the next line, gatasun, agatasun.
Oh, and there it is.
And that's it, there it is again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's right. I mean, I don't have all 75 Sunday rules at my fingertips, but I'm pretty confident that it's because of the long vowel and the accusative plural there, and then the cha. Okay, anusho chanti, and so again the show, right? So asho chan, and then there's this imperfect. So you, twum, right? Twam, that's informal you. You have grieved. And it's not just grieved, it's that anu again. Deeply grieved. You have deeply grieved over that which is not to be grieved about. The ya is, I know, whether or not, grammatical categories. It's called a gerundive. It has a future passive participle. What is not to be grieved about?
And what is that?
Yeah, passive, right?
Fighting?
Yes.
Yeah, you have grieved over what is not to be grieved about. A lot of grammar.
Your grief
is-
is misplaced.
Yeah,
You're
Yeah.
mistaken in
yeah, you're mistaken. You're grieved.
what your flaw
And-
is
Yeah,
what you're grieving.
and cha, you speak, basha say, prajna. Come on, prajna.
Wisdom.
That's about as good as you can get. Prajna vara. You speak words of wisdom. So you grieved over what shouldn't be grieved about, but you speak words of wisdom. And you, not but, and you speak words of wisdom. Gatasu nagatu. So, asu is your life energy, like prana. So, people whose lives, those who are dead, gatasu, whose life energy is gone, and those that are living, whose life energy is not gone. Wise people, pandita, right? Pundits, pandita, the learned, the wise, na anushochanti. They don't grieve over these. Now, it doesn't say that you don't have grief sometimes. It says this again, anushochanti. So, in the big view, life and death are not the living and the dead. It's just, I guess it's just the way things are. You should, I don't know, I won't try to interpret anymore. Let Bid's on a roll here. Let him.
No,
Sounds-
please.
I mean, it just sounds from a Buddhist perspective, me
Yeah.
hearing this, it sounded like you're grieving for something that doesn't even exist the way you think it does.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
Well, and from a Vedanta, right?
Yeah, right,
Right, which is like our oldest commentaries on it, right? Or
Right,
probably Shankara.
right.
There,
And then that's what's going to say in the next verse anyway, right?
well, I don't want to.
We're gonna
Let's
get
see what it
some-
says in the next verse then.
Okay.
I won't guess.
Yeah, well, then we start getting the doctrine of reincarnation.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, it seems like in this verse anyway, like, and I think it's going to come up a lot, right? Is this idea almost like Leela, right? Leela, like divine play, right?
Yes.
There are these characters.
You got it.
I'm reading The Tempest now, right? Because
Yeah.
Peter's going to be in The Tempest, right? Like, it's a play. It's staged
Right.
for you. It's not true. They're going to disappear and they're going to reappear.
That's right.
It's all an illusion, and you think
Well,
that they're...
illusion may be a little strong. That's a
Okay.
certain interpretation.
Right, yeah,
Right,
well...
but play, I think you got it. Now, I still think it's not just any old play because
Yeah.
these guys are, remember, Krishna and Arjuna on the side of the right, right?
Illusion because you're seeing the death of something that cannot die.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Right, which is a being, a soul.
That's right.
Right. And so you're mourning
That's
what
right.
is deathless.
That's right.
You're mourning the death
That's
of
right. The consciousness
what is
doesn't
eternal.
die.
Yeah.
The consciousness
Yeah.
is right. Yeah. So it's very. What do you want to say? Enheartening.
Yeah.
Right after he's been so dejected, he's saying that hey, you die, you live. There's something that doesn't. There's something in you that doesn't die. And that's what the next several verses are. and maybe we can do a couple more. Yeah. Na, I'll read this one, Breaking the Sunday. Na tu eva aham jatu na asam na tvam na ime janadipa.
That's true.
Na cha eva na bhavishyama sarve vayam ataha param. So na, look at all the na. Not to, but, not to, but, eva, emphasis, aham, jatu, nasam. There, it is not the case that I ever was not. It is not the case. Not to, and then it's a double negative, right? Ever, jatu, nasam, that I didn't exist. Natwam, nor you. It's not the case that you didn't exist, nor these kings, these lords of over people. Nacha eva. It is not the case, right? I think the na has poetic effect, right? Na chaiva na bhavishyama. It is, again, another double negative. And it's not the case that we will not be. Sarve, all of us, vayam, ataparam, after this. We're going to go on. And then my Sanskrit teacher in India, when I was 20 years old, first reading this, taught me this verse. Dehinos vinyata dehe kaumaram yalvanam jara tata dehantra praptir dhiras tatra namuyate. Dehino asmin yata dehe. In this body that belongs to the dehino, the body possessor, the one who has a body, or as into this body come kaumaram, I don't know, infancy, yalvanam, youth, jara, old age. Tata, similarly, dehino, the one who has the body, there is obtained another body. There's another body. Dida, the wise person. Tatra, on this matter, namuyate, is not confused. Dehinos vinyata dehe kaumaram yalvanam jara tata dehantara praptis diras tatra namuyate. And then another one. Matra sparshas tu kaunteya shitoshna sukadukada agama payano nityas tams titiksha swabharata. These touches, sparsha, matra, of matter, material touches, material things, I guess, sparsha. Sparsha is actually a sense of touch. Kaunteya, O Arjuna, shitoshna sukadukada. They give, da, done. Da, they give shita, sometimes they're cold. Ushna, sometimes they're hot. Sukha, they give pleasure. Dukkha, they give pain. Agama, they come. Apaya, they go. Anitya, they don't last forever. They're transitory. Tam titiksha, endure them. Bharata, endure them. Yam hi na vyatayan tyete purusham purusharshava samaduka sukham diram so amrita tvaya kopade. Amrita, immortality. Right? For the sukha, these touches of matter, that's the subject of Vyavante. That for whom yum, whom, accusative singular, the person whom, purusham, the person whom, these mata, these touches of matter, shitoshna, sukha, dukkha, da, that give pleasure and pain, whom they do not disturb. O Purusharshava, whose sama, remember, balanced, sama, the same, dukkam and sukham, in pain and pleasure, dhiram, wise, so that person, kalpate, is fit, and then the dative, amrita twa is this, is fit for amrita. Mri is to die, amrita is dead, amrita is immortal, and so this is immortality. So that person is fit for immortality.
Well,
Yeah.
The person that's fit for immortality is the one that has a balance between pleasure.
Yeah, one who's equal, who's equal,
Equanimity.
not balanced, not moved one way or the
Not
other.
moved
Can
by
take
pleasure or pain.
pleasure or pain, right?
Wow.
That's kind of tough. Okay. Om Tat Sat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all
Thank
for
you
coming.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Wow.
We're getting to the nitty gritty now.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Yeah.
stuff.